It is the 10th of May 2014. Thank you for joining us and welcome to KTN Weekend Prime. Now, the Chinese onslaught on markets and economic zones previously dominated by Western powers triggered the say, the Chinese are coming. Well, for Kenya and the East African region, the Chinese have arrived. Kenya has officially declared China as her biggest economic partner. The two countries signing 15 business contracts within minutes of the start of the State House meeting this morning. And as Samogina reports, the rest of East Africa is coming to Nairobi tomorrow morning.
With East Africa's economic hub now in the bag, China now has a strong foothold in the region after more than a year of seduction between Beijing and Nairobi. The sweetener for Nairobi was the $5 billion gift in business deals that Uhuru was given in China last August. And now, it was time for China to come collect their goodies. Kenya's cabinet secretaries and Chinese executives signed 15 contracts to deepen economic ties between the two countries. The contracts touching on concessional loans, wildlife protection, infrastructure development, aviation, health, education and agriculture. China officially becoming Kenya's biggest single economic partner.
Our talks on the agreements we reached this morning covered a variety of matters, including the protection of our national heritage and our region's peace and security.
China will always be a true friend of Kenya, and I believe with joint efforts, our friendship and cooperation will continue to boom.
Two more memoranda of understanding are to be signed on Sunday. The agreements will facilitate funding of the standard gauge railway construction from Mombasa to Nairobi. The inking of the MOU to be done before regional heads of states from 4 Eastern African countries. President Uhuru Kenyatta appeared to send a coded message to the West over China's takeover.
China has secured a place of honor in the history of Kenya's economic development.
The Chinese government has pledged to help the country in fighting the poaching menace. China has donated 850 million shillings to 4 African countries, Kenya included, to drive anti-poaching campaign. Kenya has borne the brunt of poaching, with elephants being prime targets for their tusks destined for Middle East and Asian markets.
The Chinese government has already identified the protection of wildlife as one of the priority areas of assistance from China to African countries.
The two countries have also agreed to set up a bilateral advisory council that will monitor the implementation of the trade agreements. This as China backed the repatriation program of Somalis and Kenya's central role in midwifing peace and stability in the Horn of Africa region. Simply put, China has signed on the dotted line and given a big tick on everything President Uhuru Kenyatta's administration has been doing.
China also, as we all recognize, possesses substantial political, diplomatic, and financial assets, which, if fully applied, would be a game changer in the region's peace and security effort.
We also want to work with Kenya to boost our cooperation at all levels, involving both public and private entities, to enhance our investment and trade cooperation, and also bolster our cooperation in infrastructure, people-to-people exchange, culture, as well as human capacity building.
Essentially, Kenya has made good its economic foreign policy, the low-cost policy, with the Chinese government now pledging to aid the country in its quest to be a mediator in peace and security matters across the region. Samogina, KTN, State House.